The news only for a moment will affect charts, but in reality, they don't decide price. That's just not how it works, okay? What decides price? The true value of something. That's number one. The market participants, the people who are actually providing liquidity in large amounts to these markets, are the ones who decide prices. And market makers, okay? So what's my point here? There's nothing that is going to suppress the price of ETH other than the fact that the entire market is suppressed. And if the entire market is pumping, then nothing's going to suppress the price of Ethereum. It's just going to go up with the market. It has nothing to do with news. It has nothing to do with it doesn't matter, right? Here's what matters: charts, okay? So here's what I know about Ethereum, okay? What's our alt season indicator? I'm going to show you guys something. Okay. The fuck is ETH? Here it is. So I'm going to show you something very interesting. Okay. What does this chart on top look like to you? What does the chart on the bottom look like to you? They look like the same thing, don't they? Because they basically are. Okay. So here's how you got to look at these markets. You got to put on the blinders, not think about the news, think about what this person's saying, what that person's saying. No, what's actually happening in the markets. People understand how they work technically, understand how they work in the real world by looking at these charts, the price action. Those are the people who are going to be able to make the most amount of money because they understand how the markets work. Okay. So how does Ethereum price move? How does Ethereum price work? Well, when IWM, okay, so let's look at it on the left-hand side over here. When IWM is pumping, so does Ethereum, okay? Well, what's IWM? So IWM puts in the bottom right here. That's in March of 2020 with COVID, right? Ethereum, if you put it in log mode, it'll show better. But yeah, look, see? Ethereum does the same thing. Puts in a capitulation low during COVID. IWM was up only up until March of 21, which was what? Last bull run, last cycle, whenever shit started popping off. So local top, ETH does what? Pump this entire time, makes a little bit of a higher high, pulls back as this starts to go sideways. IWM tops again, calls the perfect top on Ethereum, okay? So here's my point with this. My point with this is, there is nothing holding back the price of ETH. There is no news. There's no this. It's the second largest cryptocurrency in the entire world. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to zero. So you just have to understand how this trades to know where the price is going to go. This chart will never do this, and ETH will do this. It's not going to happen. It doesn't make sense because that's not how the markets work. So why is there this correlation between the IWM and Ethereum? Well, we've talked about this in the past. IWM is the Russell's ETF. So this is shitcos, shit companies, low cap stocks. These are the furthest down the risk curve that you can go down in equity markets. So when you see the Russell IWM pumping, that means we are risk on, beyond risk on, bullish to the tits. That means investors are rotating out of the largest cap stocks like Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, these massive companies, and they're rotating down into shitcos, into small caps. That is the highest risk on indicator. If the IWM is pumping, we're risk on. Okay. So if you start with large cap tech stocks is the highest alpha. Okay. Those are the biggest stocks in the world. And you rotate down to shitcos. Okay. Risk on. What's the next rotation down below shitcoins if risk on assets are pumping? Well, crypto, because crypto is now even further down the risk curve from small cap stocks, because now we're outside of equity markets and we're into crypto now. So if IWM is pumping hard, what does Ethereum do? Well, you see the direct correlation. Ethereum is doing the same thing. It's pumping its tits off. So you get this top right here. This is whenever you get this epic bull run in crypto, when we top out in May. We move sideways throughout the summertime, so same thing with ETH. And then you get this last pump in November of 21. Guess when ETH tops? November of 21, December of 21 is whenever all those altcoins went crazy, right? So that's how Ethereum moves. So I don't look at anything else in terms of news and opinion and what's going on with the ETH Foundation and this, that, and the third. Ethereum is a large enough asset at this point where it's got ETFs approved. People have money in through ETFs, TradFi's involved. It's not going to zero. It's not going anywhere. So there's nothing that's going to suppress the price. There's nothing that's going to nothing. None of that is real. The only thing to pay attention to in terms of Ethereum and whenever we're actually going to get our altcoins or alt season this cycle, because we have not had alt season. People were saying we've already had alt season. We're not going to get it. It's bullshit. They don't know what they're talking about. The IWM never went into price discovery this cycle. That's why we haven't had alt season yet. When IWM goes into price discovery, that's alt season. Okay, so let me show you. So remember, these are shit codes. This is the furthest down the risk curve that equities can go. Okay, so here was our previous all-time high. This was in August of 18. Okay, so IWM comes down, we nuke. Okay, we come back, we range, we nuke because of COVID. Okay, here we go. So now we blast up from COVID and we get up to our previous all-time high, right? As soon as we break out from our previous all-time high, which was right here. Whoops, what the fuck? As soon as we broke for our previous all-time high, right? Right here, we were level with this high. So we broke with this all-time high, then ETH started ripping, right? And so we're up in here. That's whenever we're risk on. Okay, we top out in December. We come back down into a bear market reaccumulation, right? So you see it right here. Okay, so you have this bear market reaccumulation range. Very obvious, very clear. Okay. All right, what do we do down here on ETH? Same thing. Bear market reaccumulation, right? IWM breaks out from this low right here in October 23, which is when what? That's when crypto started ripping. It was October of 23. That's whenever crypto started its first leg up out of the bear market. IWM starts pumping up towards the top of the range, breaks out, retests, breaks out. What does Ethereum do? Breaks out, boom, boom, boom. We come back down in here. So this is whenever you get this drop in July and August on ETH, right? IWM pumps back up again. So does ETH, okay? So there's nothing, my point is that if you show me the chart, I'll show you the news, okay?